भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, भक्त गोविंद की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गीता की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev.
Hare Hare Bol.
So we'll start with today's reading. We are on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 10, verse number 6. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So I will first recite this verse 3 times and then other devotees can also recite. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 10, verse number 6. Tapsya edhamanena vidyaya chatma samsthaya विवृद्ध विज्ञान बलो न्यपाद्वायुं सहाम्भसा तपसाह्य एधमानेन विद्यया चात्मसंस्थया विवृद्ध विज्ञान बलो न्यपाद्वायुं सहाम्भसा तपसाह्य एधमानेन विद्यया चात्मसंस्थया विवृद्ध विज्ञान बलो न्यपाद्वायुं सहाम्भसा. Hare Krishna. If any other devotees would like to recite the verse.
तपसा हि एदमानेन विद्यया चात्मसंस्थया विवृद्धविज्ञानबलो न्यपाद्वायुं सहम्बसा.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
तत्साहेधमानेन विद्या चात्मसंस्थया विवृतो ज्ञानबलो न्यपादवायुसहंसा. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tapasa यदमानेन विद्याया चात्मसंस्थया विवृद्धा विज्ञानबलो न्यपद्वायुं सहम्बसा. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Apsahi hedhamanena vidyaya chatma samstaya vivritta vigyano balo nyapadvayum sahambasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tapasahi edhamanena vidyaya chatma samsthaya vibruddha viggano balo nayapad bhayum saham bhasha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Okay. So we'll move on to the translation. Say synonyms first. Synonyms. Tapsa, by penance. He, certainly. Edhamanena, increasing. Vidyaya, by transcendental knowledge. Cha, also. Atma, self. Samsthaya, situated in the self. Vivradha, matured. Vijnana, practical knowledge. Balaha, power. Nepath, drank. Vayum, the wind. Saha ambhasa, along with the water. Translation. Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization had matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus He drank the wind completely along with the water. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma's struggle for existence is a personal example of the continued fight between the living entities in the material world and the illusory energy called Maya. Beginning from Brahma down to this age, the living entities are struggling with the forces of material nature. By advanced knowledge in science and transcendental realization, one can try to control the material energy which works against our endeavors. And in the modern age, advanced materialistic scientific knowledge and penance have played very wonderful roles in controlling the powers of material energy. Such control of the material energy, however, can be most successfully carried out if one is a soul surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and carries out his order in the spirit of loving transcendental service. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana-shalakaya Chakshur-unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri-Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Please accept my humble obeisances and all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome all to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Continuing our beautiful journey, reading Srimad Bhagavatam and having personal association of Krishna every single day in the morning. So right now we are on Canto 3rd, Chapter 10, verse number 6. So continuing like what is being presented here in this verse, I will try to relate it how we came here. So Lord Brahma, we have seen in the previous chapter, Lord Brahma offered prayers for creation to Lord, and there are variety of prayers. Like there are many verses starting from first verse till 25th verse in chapter 9. Brahmaji offers prayer glorifying the form of the Lord, and at the end of the prayers, the last few verses of the prayers, Brahmaji made some request to the Lord. What are those requests? Just try to recollect them because very important for today's verse. Brahmaji is asking Lord to empower him for his service. He has a service to do, which is subcreation, visarga. And to do that service, Brahmaji feels himself that I am not capable. So he requests Supreme Personality of Godhead to empower him so that he can successfully do his service. Then, when person does service, there are chances then a living entity might get some pride that, oh, I did this service, I did that service. So Brahmaji, knowing this fact, he prayed to the Lord, please protect me from false ego. Please protect me. That is also very important. And then he also requests Lord to save him from any deviation. While doing service, he might not get deviated and fully focused and remain fully focused on his service. These prayers, these requests that I just mentioned, empowerment, protection from the false ego, and deviation, are very important for us as a practicing devotees. We all request every day to Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra to give us his loving devotional service. And by mercy of Krishna, we do services, different kinds of services. Somebody might be doing cooking service, someone might be doing preaching service, someone might be doing cleaning service, someone might be doing deity worship. So there are different services done by different devotees. But when we request the Lord for service, at the same time, we should understand that whatever service we are doing, we can do that only by Lord's empowerment. Otherwise, we will have no capacity. By ourselves, we have no capacity to do anything. Only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we are able to do those services. And when we do those services, sometimes we get pride. I don't know, like not everyone, but sometimes it happens. That is the nature of material. That is the nature of material world. We get pride. Oh, I achieved this. I did this service. I gave that lecture. I cooked. I decorated. I cleaned. So many things. Like we get, oh, I did it. But we have to, at the same time, we have to pray to the Lord, please protect me from that mentality. Because that pride, that false ego will lead us to downfall of our bhakti. Very dangerous for our bhakti life. So we should pray to the Lord like Lord Brahma. Brahmaji is not ordinary personality. He is one of the Mahajans. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 Mahajans are referred and the Brahmaji is one of them. And he is praying. He knows all Bhagavad Dharma, he knows everything. And he is praying to the Lord, protect me from false ego. I might get it in the course of doing bhakti, in the course of doing service. So he is praying what to speak about us. So we should also pray to the Lord to protect us from the false ego and remain always in the right consciousness that we are given this service and Lord has empowered us, made us the medium to do this service. And at this third request that Brahmaji made was, I should not deviate from my service. So many distractions. I should do my service fully focused. So we should also, in the duration of doing services, always pray to the Lord that we remain focused in our service and don't, like sometimes we look here and there, but we should be focused in our service. I am given this service by the mercy of the Lord, and I should perform this. I should do this with whole heart, with full uh, whatever best I can give. And if I do it, that is by the mercy of the Lord. That also understanding should be there in the living entity. So these requests, these prayers that I just mentioned, I didn't mention all the prayers. I just mentioned few. So they're very important for us as a practicing devotees. Otherwise, we might get some pride due to our doing some service, and then that will be very dangerous for our bhakti life. And when Lord Brahma prays to the Lord, after that Lord gives reply. Lord replies to him. Lord gives his response. And he told Lord Brahma that even these prayers that you offered, we saw this from 1 in chapter 9 from verse 1 till 25, Lord Brahma offers prayers. Krishna in response says, even the prayers that you offered, you are able to say those prayers, you are able to do those prayers only by my mercy. Otherwise, you cannot even offer prayers. So see, Krishna is telling Lord Brahma that even the
That's
prayers
it. Mm,
that you're offering, they are offered by my mercy only.
mm.
Very important point. So we should remember the, actually when we read, we don't realize, but these are very, very important points. And then Lord tells Brahmaji that follow my instructions. Whatever instructions I have given to you, follow them, and then you will able to do your service very nicely. Don't act whimsically on your own. Yeah? Do as told by me. So we should always do service according to the Shastras, like not follow our own mental concoction. Okay, let me do like this, let me do like this. We should always do our services following the instructions of Guru and Krishna. So here, Krishna says to Lord Brahma that follow my instructions and then you will be able to do all the services very nicely. So that was the end of the chapter 9, and then we begins today's chapter. We are just in the beginning of chapter 10. So today's chapter starts with inquiry from Vidura to Maitreya Muni. We have seen various inquiries made by Vidura in few chapters before, and we are still continuing on that path that Maitreya Muni is answering the questions of Vidur. And Vidura asking Maitreya Muni about this sub-creation. How did Lord Brahma created living beings? How did he do that? Like Lord Krishna did the initial, the creation, Sarga, and Lord Brahma is doing the Visarga, sub-creation. So how did he do that? That is the question asked by Vidur to Maitreya Muni. And Prabhupada mentions in the second verse of this chapter that asking from the right source is very important. Maitreya Muni is the right source from Vidura is inquiring. Because if we inquire from here and there any source, then we will not get the correct answers, and that will be very dangerous for our bhakti. So we should always ask questions in disciplic succession, parampara. Otherwise, if we just randomly look at some videos, randomly search on YouTube or Google and try to find answers, we might not get right answers because the source might not be in the parampara. So we should be very careful in that regard that when we inquire, like Vidur Muni, like with Mahatma Vidur is inquiring from Maitreya Muni, we should be always inquiring from right source, which is in the disciplic succession coming from Lord Krishna. So here we get that. So Brahmaji did long tapasya as instructed by the Lord in the previous chapter, and after doing that, he got to see. We saw he got to see the Lord, and what did he see? He see himself that he is on the lotus, and there is a stem, and it's not a normal scenario. There are high winds and water, high waves of water, like a very huge, like very scary hurricane. We can say, like we cannot even compare. Those acharyas, in purport, Prabhupada mentions that it's very high winds and high waves of water, and that they are compared to the winds and the water waves at the time of annihilation. When everything is going to destroyed, everything will come to end. That time, this is the scene: high winds and waves of water, which are very dangerous, very scary. But is this a time of annihilation? No, it is not. Right now, where Brahmaji has to create. He just prayed to Lord that I have to create. Please empower me. So this is not the time of annihilation, and the situation is such that it is very difficult for Brahma to proceed with his service, to do sub creation. So we can understand this. Like Brahmaji has to do his service, and we see how is the situation? Very scary, very dangerous. it is very difficult for Brahmaji to do his service at this in scene like this. So in this today's verse, Prabhupada, in the translation, it is mentioned that by the power of long penance and austerity, bhakti, devotional service, Brahmaji could nullify the effect of these winds and the water. In translation, it is mentioned he drank everything. For us to even visualize, it's very difficult. How can someone drink wind and water? So, so everything got finished. Did he drink everything? No wind, no water now? No, it's not like that. He he nullified the effect of that turbulation and high waves of water, and he whatever was required for this creation, whatever was required for his service, that left, and the extra, because here we see we need water, we need wind in this universe, and if it is bereft of it, nobody can survive. So Brahma took only the extra part which was not needed, and then situation became normal. So that is the sequence here. And how Prabhupada connected to us devotees, this scene is very beautiful. In Prabhupada, in purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions, in this material world, the living entity is continuously struggling. We see Brahmaji initially he has to do service. He's struggling to do service because of the water and the winds. But because of his bhakti, because of the long penance, he could control it. Here, we devotees, like we are practicing devotees, we also know that our service in this material world, we are here to do devotional service. Save pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti adhokshaja. That is the main duty we have to do. Devotional service to Krishna, adhokshaja. And while doing this service, we see there are many distractions in the material world. This material world is nothing but Krishna's energy. Krishna has unlimited energies. We cannot even count them. But they're classified, divided, for our understanding, they're divided into three categories. Internal energy, which is the Antaranga Shakti. External energy, which is the Maya, this is the material world, Bahiranga Shakti, and the marginal energy, which is the Tathastha Shakti, which is the living entities. So, this material world is nothing but the energy of Krishna. And who is taking care of it? Durga Devi. She is taking care of it. And the task of material nature is to, we can say, pull living entity towards material world. That is the task material world is doing. To pull living entities towards her and not letting them go towards Krishna. That is the service. Why? Because living entity desired that. It's not that Krishna want them to be stay in the material world, but the living entity desired that I want to stay separately from Krishna and enjoy. So so Krishna gave this Durga Devi this task. Okay, these living entity wants to enjoy, so give them full facility to enjoy. Don't let them go away from you. So that is the task given to the external energy, Durga Devi. So she's doing her job. So, but for our benefit only. When we suffer in the material world, we try to be happy by doing so many things, and we keep suffering. Ultimately, we turn toward Krishna. Sometimes in one of the purport, this work of material energy says a thankless job. Nobody wants to thank her for this job. Always we say material world, bad place, this place. But this is meant for our reformation only. The living entity who wanted to be separate from Krishna, who don't want to serve Krishna, they are placed in this place. And it's like a prison house in this creation. For example, there is a government, and the government makes some rules and regulations which the citizens have to follow. And if they follow them, they remain nicely in this. They remain nicely. They had no problem. They can roam around independently. No issue. But what if they don't follow? What if they don't follow? If they don't follow, what happens is the police, the cop, they catch him and puts him in the prison. And that police is doing the service of the government only. He is under the control of government. He is not independent. He is doing that as per the instructions of the government, that if someone doesn't follow the rules and regulation, you place them here in the prison. Same way, if the government is the god and the material nature is like a cop, police, when we don't follow the instructions of Supreme Lord and we try to work whimsically according to our thoughts and our desires, then we are put in this material world prison house. But there also Krishna gives us many opportunities by which we can go back to him. But this is for our reformation only. So this is how Prabhupada connects this Brahmaji's situation to our situations. Because we also face so many tribulations while doing bhakti. We are constantly in war with Maya. We are like soldiers. Like soldier has always to be alert. Someone might shoot me from here, or someone might come from here. We have to be always alert, fully alert on our path of bhakti, that so many distractions from Maya, material nature. So fully alert so that we don't get deviated on the process we are doing. But in the purport towards the end, Prabhupada gives a solution. Okay, this material world is there are tribulations, but there is one way to come out from it, and that is mentioned from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 14. Devi esha gunmai mama maya duratyaya mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Krishna says this divine energy of mind, which consists of Gunamai, this consists of three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. It is very difficult to overcome, very difficult. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Prabhupada mentions this point towards the end of the purport, which we read today from 6th verse, chapter 10, that this material nature is very difficult to overcome. Consider three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. In all these three modes, someone might say, oh, goodness is very good, it's a goodness. But it's like a golden chain. Even if someone is bound with a golden chain, they won't feel comfortable. They want to come out of it. So here in this material world, we are bound with this gold and silver, iron chains. And if we want to overcome them, we have to surrender unto Lord. This material world in Bhakti Shastras is, there are various analogies, and sometimes it is compared to forest fire. We see in the Mangal Aarti, we sing a song, Samsara Dava Nalalidha Loka Tranaya Karunya Ganana Ganatvam. Samsara Davanal. It's like a forest fire. Then sometimes it is compared to dark well, which is very, very deep. And it is impossible to come out from the well. Very deep. And sometimes it is compared to ocean of misery. This is unlimited, unlimited misery. It's an ocean of misery which is very difficult to cross ourselves on our own. So various scriptures compared this material world to various things. We just said forest fire, ocean of misery, and dark well. We say if there is a forest fire, What is the solution? Can we spray water and extinguish it? It's very difficult. The best way to extinguish forest fire is if there is a rain. When the rain comes, it can extinguish easily. So for us also to cross this material world, to uh, nullify the effects of this material world, the only process is to surrender. Surrender onto whom? Not to any other living entity, not to any ordinary person, to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse number 66, Krishna says, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा. Krishna says, surrender unto me and then I will take care of everything. I will take care of all your sins. Don't worry. Krishna is giving assurance, ma shucha, don't worry, don't be scared, do not fear. At the end of this verse, Krishna says, do not fear. Just surrender unto me. So if we surrender unto Lord, this material world, for us it will be a easy place where we can do our service efficiently and nicely. But what is surrender? What is surrender? Sometimes we say surrender, but surrender sometimes we hear in the war, okay, there were war between the two countries, two parties, and one party surrendered because they cannot fight anymore. So they surrendered. They accepted defeat. So they surrendered. But here, surrender doesn't mean that. Surrender means our dependence on Krishna. Krishna, you are the only one. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions the process of surrender as described in Hari Bhakti Vilas as anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyati iti vishwaso goptritve varnam tatha atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagate. So these 6 processes of Sharanagati, surrender, are mentioned in scriptures. Because always we hear this term, we have to surrender unto Lord, we have to surrender. In the purports, many times it comes, surrender unto Lord. But what is surrender? Which is given as 6 limbs of Sharanagati in this verse. Anukulasya sankalpa. We have to accept things which are favorable for our bhakti. Which are favorable for bhakti. What are those things which are favorable for our bhakti? In Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions those 6 things which are favorable for our bhakti. What are those things? Utsaha nishchaya dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat shato vritti shadbhi vritti prasiddhati. So these are the 6 principles favorable for our execution of our pure devotional service. Shadbir bhakti prasiddhati. When we do these 6 things, our bhakti will flourish. They are favorable for our bhakti. So what are those 6 things? Enthusiasm, nishchaya, determination, and patience, dhairyat. And then these are the 3 things: enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles of hearing, chanting, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and then following the footsteps of previous acharyas. These are 6 things which are favorable for our bhakti, and if you follow them, Rupa Goswami said, undoubtedly, there is no doubt, there will be complete success in the path of devotional service. So we should try to take these things. We say anukulasya sankalpa, favorable for bhakti. We should associate with devotees who have enthusiasm. Sometimes we lose enthusiasm, but we should associate with such kind of devotees, and then we remain enthusiastic throughout our bhakti life. Patient. No, okay, I'm doing from 10 years or 5 years, nothing is happening. We have to be patient and do with full heart, following the instructions given by previous acharyas. We should avoid the association of mundane people. Take association of devotees. So these are the things, if we follow, we take, then our bhakti will flourish. Then the second is, in the 6 limbs of Sharanagati, Pratikulasya Varjanam. The things which are not favorable for our bhakti, we should reject them. We should reject them. And that is also mentioned in Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami. Second verse of Nectar of Instruction. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. In the end, it said these 6 things lead to bhaktir vinashyati, will lead to downfall of bhakti. So what are these 6 things? Eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, atyahara. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Talking unnecessary about mundane subject matters. Practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness and being greedy for mundane achievements. So these are the 6 things which we should reject. Not collecting too much, not associating with worldly minded people, not to be greedy for mundane things, not to. So if we do these six things, our bhakti will decline. So we have to reject these things. Then the third is Rakshishyati iti Vishwasu. We should always have faith on Krishna, that Krishna is going to protect me. Krishna is my only protector. And we see, recently we celebrated Nrsimha Chaturdashi, and we saw Prahlad Maharaj, faith, Vishwas on Lord Nrsimha, that, oh, Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him so many ways, but he had full faith. Lord is going to protect me. He kept on chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He kept on chanting, no fear, full faith that Krishna is going to protect me, full Vishwas. Haridas Thakur, he was beaten. We just saw the drama on Sunday. He was beaten in so many marketplaces, but he kept chanting. Full faith, full Vishwas on Krishna. So that we should have. Rakshishyati iti Vishwaso. Goptratve Varnam Tatha. That Krishna is my only master. That faith we should have. Krishna is my only master. Usually we depend on so many people, so many, sometimes we depend on friends, relatives, demigods for our things, but Krishna is our only master. So we should work in such a way. Krishna is the only master, full focused, Krishna, no other. Then Atma Nikshepa Karpanye. So Atma Nikshepa is full surrender with body, minds and words, service unto Krishna with all our senses, fully surrender. Like how Bali Maharaj surrendered unto Vamandev. Karpanye, being humble. That is also one of the limbs of Sharanagati. So these 6 limbs, Pratikulasya Varjanam, Anukulasya Sankalpa, Pratikulasya Varjanam, Rakshishyate iti Vishwaso, Goptratve Varnam Tatha, Atma Nikshepa Karpane, Shadvita Sharanagati. So these 6 limbs of Sharanagati is surrender. So if we do this, Krishna says in this verse, in the purport, when we surrender unto Lord, then we can do our service in the material world without tribulations. Like how did Brahma, there was high winds, water waves, but he nullified the effect and he was able to do his service. So we can also do our service and we can cross this material world, which is compared to forest fire, dark well, by performing this devotional service, surrendering to the Lord, we can cross this material world very easily. It becomes, we just said, it's like an ocean. But when a person does bhakti, how it becomes? It's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, verse 58. I will read the translation. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, or the enemy of the Mura demon. The ocean of material world is like the water contained in the calf's hoof print. His goal is Parampadam or Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, nor the place where there is danger at every step. So this ocean becomes, just now we said it's like an ocean. But how it becomes when we take shelter into the Supreme Lord? It becomes like a water contained in the calf's hoof print. We can imagine how small is that and how huge is the ocean. So by surrendering to the Lord, this huge ocean, which is impossible to cross by our own efforts, but by Bhakti Shakti, by process of Bhakti, by the mercy of Krishna, it is reduced for a devotee into like a water which is contained in calf's hoof print. That is the Shakti, that is the power of our Bhakti. And all these modes, they will not affect the living entity. Like here, Lord Brahma, by the strength of his Bhakti, he could drink all water and control wind. So we should also do our devotional service, surrender to the Lord. There will be distractions, especially in today's world. It's full of distractions, full of tribulations. Somewhere some war is going, somewhere something is going. And what to speak about outside tribulations? There are inside tribulations, our mind, which Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is very difficult to control our mind. Our mind gives us so many disturbances. So if we want to get all these things controlled and do our service nicely, we have to surrender into the Lord and perform devotional service. And we just saw favorable things, unfavorable things for our bhakti, and how bhakti should be performed. That Prabhupada mentions in the last line of the purport. It should be loving devotional service. Loving, with love, we should be doing our service, not with force. Sometimes in beginning stage, it might look like a force. But as we keep on doing with association of devotees, it becomes like a nectar. It becomes like a nectar. So to do devotional service, if we follow the don'ts and do's and don'ts, it's very important. So I will conclude now with the conclusion. So we learn from this pastime of Brahmaji performing penance and devotional service and able to nullify the effect of the high winds in the water by the power of the bhakti, by the mercy of the Lord. Same way, we as a practicing devotees will be faced with many tribulations, many disturbances in this material world. But when we surrender unto the Lord and perform bhakti with love and devotion, preeti, then all these effects won't bother us and we will be able to do our service very nicely following the instructions of the Lord. And we'll be able to cross this material world and go back home, back to Godhead, where there will be no more tribulations and we'll be able to do our services to the Lord without any interruptions continuously. So that's all for today. I would like to end now. So thank you all for listening. If there are any corrections, any realization, please share. So Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very wonderful explanation of how to go by this devotional service, how to live in this material world. Even Brahma could do that, so we are nothing in this world. And yes, we have to follow a lot of things like Srila Prabhupada said. And there's 6 limbs, and these are very much meant for us only, mainly.
Yes.
So if we really think of all those patience, regulative principles, and all those things. Atyahara, this thing, all those things is meant for us only. If we really follow those things, we'll be the expert devotees.
Yeah. So these are given for our benefit only. Yeah.
Our benefit only.
Because we say sometimes, oh, we are surrendered. We are surrendered.
Yeah.
It's very easy to say I'm surrendered.
Yeah.
But we don't realize, oh, I'm associating with this, I'm collecting too much, I'm doing this, we don't realize that. So we have to, when we read this, it strikes us, oh, we have to follow this, and then only we'll be able to progress.
So all these 6 limbs, these are all Saranagati. These are very much meant for us only. Each and every word is very important for our lives.
Yes,
so it's a very, very nice thing you explained today. It's very good. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Any other devotees would like to share something?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
This is one of those classes that needs to be heard again and again, because this is the point that needs to be reminded. We need to be reminded constantly. And the point about surrender, on the one side, we are not quite there. But on the other side, there is also the danger of thinking, oh, you know what, I cannot do it. This, I'm not meant to do it. So we really need to look inward. We have not surrendered yet, but we should also not say we cannot or we will not, because life is very difficult. We should keep on endeavoring. Our goal should be to become a pure devotee, and we should keep trying.
Yeah.
And, sometimes people will say, how do I know? I think if today I have done this much, tomorrow I should endeavor to do a little bit more than I did today. I think that's also another way to try and improve on where we are, instead of saying, oh, you know what, it's difficult, so I won't do it.
Yeah, so what I understand, it's not a one-day process.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that I come to Krishna consciousness and I take initiation. Now I'm surrendered. I'm done. It's not an end. There's no end. Sometimes, oh, I came to Krishna consciousness. I'm chanting 16 rounds, falling, and I have taken initiation now. Like my bhakti, I'm just, that's it. That's the starting. We have to start working on things now. So it's not a one-day process. We have to keep endeavoring, as Mataji just mentioned. We have to keep endeavoring. Like right now, maybe something I'm endeavoring, and then next day maybe little more, little more, little more, little more. So it's not a one-day process. It's a gradual process. And if we do it in association of devotees who are also trying for this, then it becomes little easy for us. If we keep associating with worldly mindly people, and at the same time we say, okay, I can surrender, it's very difficult. It's impossible. It's like it's like we are taking the medicine, but we are not following. Doctor said, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Don't eat this thing, don't eat this thing, don't eat this thing, don't do these things. But if we want to improve our health condition, we have to follow doctor's instructions. Do's and don'ts both. What we have to do, and only not we have to do what we should not do, that also we have to follow. Sometimes we follow, okay, we have to chant 16 rounds, I'm doing. We have to follow 4 regulative principles we're doing. Oh, we should not do other things, like we should not associate with worldly mindly people, we should not over collect, we should not over endeavor for mundane things. That is okay, I'm chanting, so why to do that? But that are also very important. If doctor said for your health condition, don't drink milk products or don't eat milk products, and if we take medicine, keep eating the milk products, what will happen? Our condition will not cure. Same way here. Do's and don'ts both need to be followed with same intensity. So Mataji just mentioned that point. It's very important because I feel when I read this verse, I felt like, oh, it's so much related to us. Especially to me, I felt so much related.
Everybody.
Yeah, special, so much related that how we are struggling in this material world. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
And
Krishna.
another thing is Rakshiti Viswasa.
Vishwaso, the full
That faith you have to have.
Like Prahlad Maharaj, we just saw Prahlad Maharaj past time. He was thrown from the hill, elephants tried to kill him, so many things. He was burnt in fire. What his faith? He kept on chanting Om No. Even I am killed, even if I die, doesn't matter. That faith we should have. Krishna is going to protect me. It's not that if the body is protected, that is only the raksha. Either way, Krishna is going to protect me. Even if he makes me die, that is also one kind of protection.
Yes, that's true.
So that kind of faith we should have. I don't have, at least right now, but yeah, with the association of devotee by mercy of Krishna, one day, yeah, we'll be there. Hare Krishna. Anyone else there would like to share? Okay, so if no one is there, we'll end today for today's class, and we'll meet tomorrow again with reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So I offer my respects to all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.